everyone, it's Erica from HeartsChat. So, last Sunday we did a live show with the wonderful singer Ja-Tun. So sorry if you missed us. But here's our exclusive interview with her, as well as an exclusive listen to her new single. So, enjoy.
Be away from music and not producing music. So yeah, I mean, it's always been a part of me. It's always been there. But performing professionally, that's probably been about the last 5-6 years or so.
Okay. Well, speaking of all the classical music and all the instruments you play, what is your musical influences, or who inspires you to either create your songs, how you do it, all that jazz?
For the most part, I think my favorite pieces are the ones that literally spill out of me. For instance, the song that we're getting ready to listen to in a little while is a piece that, I sat down and it kind of boiled within me and flowed onto the page. There are some songs where, I have a song that I did called Trading My Forever that goes over Antoine Dufour's These Moments. And it's just this beautiful instrumental where he's doing percussion and he's strumming and he's doing all of this on the guitar, but to hear him play it sounds like there's about 3 or 4 different instruments. Like everybody's like, oh, that band is so cool. And I'm like, no, that band is a guy. And so, as soon as I heard that particular piece, once again, the melody just started kind of flowing out of me. So, I mean, I really can't take credit for a lot of my work. It just kind of flows through me and I allow myself to be a vessel. So that's really cool.
Who's influenced you to get to, do you have any specific people that influences you to have, because your band seems a little collective, it's not like maybe you're not going to say, oh, you remind me of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But it's like, but is there any, but there doesn't have to be, but I'm saying, is there?
Oh, no, there absolutely is. When I was a lot younger, my mom had me listening to the greats like Billie Holiday and Sarah Vaughan and, Etta James. And, then as I started choosing material to cover, there was Jill Scott, there's Stevie Wonder. Yes. We do a lot of Maroon 5. Yeah. It really does end up kind of going all over the place. So at this point, we go into Led Zeppelin, we go into Aretha Franklin. There's just really, there's so many different places where I draw influence from. But as far as kind of comparisons sound-wise, particularly for my voice, I think most commonly I get Jill Scott.
Yes.
Philly from Philly.
Yeah. And we're in our backyard now, so
yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can definitely see your drive and your passion when you perform.
Thank you.
That is for certain. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, what keeps you motivated?
I got bills like everybody else. The funny thing about it is when you take a look at music careers or modeling careers or, things along those lines, it seems like, it's a really glamorous thing to do. You got the cool outfits and you got the makeup and you got, and it's just like, wow, that looks like so much fun. And I've even had people that are really close to me like, wow, you look like you're having a lot of fun. But at the same time, I get up and go to work every day just like everybody else. So, I wake up in the morning and, I'm calling venues like, hey, I know this incredible new band that you should book. There's sales in there. There's, business management. There's personnel management. I have to, I love my band. They are incredible players, but at the same time, I'm managing my band. It's fortunate for me that, for the most part, I'm dealing with individuals who are, self-starters and, who are really passionate about what they're doing. That's always, one of the biggest hurdles when you're talking about anybody that is working for you. But at the same time, they don't necessarily like all the songs that I pick out or, so, sometimes they'll be a little bit more passionate about practicing some things versus other things. So there's, there's people management in there. There's, it really does end up hitting every single skill. So, the same way everybody else gets up and you go to work and you do what you got to do. I get up, I go to work, I do what I got to do. I make sure my team is doing what they've got to do and, just kind of I keep a list throughout the course of the day and say, okay, well, if I'm hitting X, Y, and Z, then I feel like I've accomplished something today. I'm doing
Yes.
well.
Talk
We
about
just
that a lot.
all the time.
Organizational goal setting.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I will say, I think it was Johnny on the guitar.
Oh,
Yes.
Was that
yeah.
him? He was into it. I was watching.
Oh, my
I was
goodness.
like, oh my gosh, he's feeling it.
I just picked Johnny up for the band a couple months ago, and he is such a tremendous addition. His energy is wonderful. He's starting to bring his creative energy into it, which is really incredible. You know, we had a rehearsal where it was us working kind of one-on-one, getting ready for a duo gig, and he was like, you know, I was thinking about this piece over here, and we can incorporate this song over there in the guitar solo, and you know, it was really, really awesome that kind of synergy was just flowing between all of us. And actually, at the last gig, he had his wireless guitar, and he got out and he walked straight through the middle of the crowd, went to the back of the room, and he was just still playing and smiling and just having an awesome time. Came back up, and so it's really, really cool. I love creating an environment that gives everybody the opportunity to shine that way.
Yes, definitely.
So being an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, and also being a performer, having to go on, how does all of with performing, your nerves, like how can you cope with that? And then all the other stressors mixed with being the performer, because you're not just a performer. So how do you cope with all of this and deal with it all to still have the heightened energy that you have, the smile, and to still seem to be that you love doing it all at once?
Planning. that is really the best thing. If you set your plan in place, like for instance, when we go in, we've got our set list. When I lay out the set list, it's usually a couple weeks in advance when we're running through it. You know, we know at the rehearsal, like I keep everything as straightforward as possible. No surprises. This is where you're going to be. This is what I want you to wear. This is the time you're expected to get there. This is what the sound situation is looking like. So, you know, there's as little questions as possible going into the space, because I want the people that are working with me to be present and to be, you know, just to allow themselves to be mindful in that moment of what's happening musically in that moment. We don't want to necessarily think about, oh, well, is so-and-so going to be there on time or anything like that. It's really about, okay, let's lay this out in advance. Let's be where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there. Let's have our plan in place so that we know this is exactly what we're going to do, so that when we go, we can produce the best possible product of what we're doing in that moment. And that's really what it is. At first, before I figured out that piece of it, you know, I was getting on stage and I still had like my entrepreneur hat on. And so I'm looking at the crowd and I'm thinking about, okay, did everybody get their tickets? Is everybody, you know, situated? The people that I expected, are they there? And I don't mess with that anymore. I can't afford to mess with that anymore. My artist self gets kind of shortened in the process by doing that, and it's not fair to cheat myself in that way. So actually, my mom and I have a deal. My mom is incredible. Hi, Mom.
Yes.
She is at everything, and I love her so much. She also runs my website for me, which is incredible, ja-tun.com. I can't take any credit for the awesomeness that is up there. I hop on there and I like throw my 2 cents in, like, why does that picture look like that? But I mean, that is my mother's brainchild, and she is amazing at what she does. I mean, my mom, she is like the online guru. She taught me what a blog was like 10 years ago.
I was about to say, she knows. That's impressive.
Yeah, she is on it. Her and her galaxy. I'm sure she is on it. But I mean, we have this deal between us where getting ready for shows and events and things like that, she does also help me promote. But when people are coming to the show, they tell her. They don't really tell me, like, if I'm coming or if I'm not coming, whatever. Because if I know somebody's coming and I'm, like, looking forward to a particular person coming, then I'm watching the door, like, are they here? Are they here? Are they here? I'm like a kid in a candy store. Where are they? Did they park yet? So
what does it mean to have your family there? Like your family there to
the
watch
world.
you perform.
The world, it really does mean the world. When I first started off doing events, and I started off like running open mics and things, and I had a lot of friends that were also trying to break into music, or at least they called themselves trying to break into music. And I said, well, if I create these open mics, then they'll have a platform.
Yeah.
And then I got out there and I was doing these events and they didn't show up. And so that got to be, it was kind of heartbreaking for me in the beginning, because I'm like, okay, I thought I was doing all of this for you, and you're not here. And so, at this point, I dropped my expectations and I said, well, I'm going to put together the best possible show that I can, and I'm going to play for whoever happens to be here, and I'm not going to allow myself to get caught up on who's not here and all the things that aren't happening. I'm going to allow myself to be present in this moment and have a blast with what is happening, because it's an honor and it's a privilege, and it's like the best. I can't describe one of my shows. It's like the best experience ever.
Well, it sounds like you need your family there and all the support you can get. Everybody.
Yep.
So this next, we are going to be playing one of your songs. So tell us a little bit about that and what inspired it and what it's about, or what, if you don't want them to know and get their own concept. But if you'd like to, go ahead.
So this song is actually, it's an unreleased track. This is a exclusive debut.
Ooh,
no one has ever,
exclusive on HeartsChat.
It really is. This is a song that, it means a lot to me. It's kind of a deeper place than I normally go in my music.
What's it called?
It's called Where the Hell Am I Anyway?
All right.
Yeah.
So it's deeper, and that sounds like a pretty deep song.
Yeah. I mean, just writing-wise, structure-wise, production-wise, actually, I worked with the same producer that did my album for me. And there's a lot of dance material that's on the album. There's a lot of really fun stuff, and we kind of hit every genre. But when I went in to work on this particular song, I said, I want it to feel like it's live, like me and a piano in a room, and I'm just, singing my heart out. And I really feel like that's what we were able to remain true to in the creation of this song. So as far as the meaning of it or the roots of where it came from, it is whatever you need it to be. And it's, I'm hoping that it's not necessarily a place that, everybody can readily resonate with, because like I said, it's deeper and it's darker than a lot of my material. But if you know, you know. And if you've been there, you know. Yeah. So if you do know, then hopefully it'll speak to you and comfort you a little bit.
On that note, let's see if it speaks. Yeah. The debut of
Where the Hell Am I Anyway by Ja-Tun.
My heart is searching, can't find a remedy. Someone save me, change me, help me deal with this place I've landed. No one comes, so it's all up to me. How do I fake another smile? How do I face another day? Pass me by, wishing I could run away. Where's my sun? Where's my moon? And how did I get back here so soon? And where But how do I fake another smile? How do I face another day? And where the hell am I anyway? How do I fake another smile? How do I face another day? How do I let these motions pass me by? Wishing I could run away. Where's my sun? Where's my moon? How did I get back here so soon? Where the hell am I anyway? Oh, where the hell am I anyway?
Okay, we're back. That was Ja-Tun. Where the hell am I anyway?
Ooh,
So,
yes. Clap it up. Snap.
Applaud yourself. You should.
yes, please call us. Please call us if you want to comment about her song at 215-909-9925 and let us know what you think. So now, in the meantime, we can talk about what we think.
Anything.
Yeah.
Well, where did it take you when you listened to it? Because it seemed like you were kind of like hype at first, and then all of a sudden you just kind of got lost in there.
I did. Well, see, Akila's sitting next to me, and she was like, I was tearing up in the car, and I was like, oh no, and then I was like, okay, I get how that could happen. I'm sitting here and like tearing up, listening to it too, and I wrote it. I'm not quite sure where it went. I mean, it's a very, very emotional piece, just in general, and particularly for me. Even at the time that I wrote it, I was actually like in the midst of this emotional whirlwind, and I got, I kind of put myself in the living room, and I was like, I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to write. And I got this phone call that was like, okay, you need to come to this place right now.
Okay, we have a call.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, you're on the air with us. Did you want to comment on Ja-Tun's song?
I think it was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Why do I think I know that voice?
I think you do know that.
Hi,
Supporters
Danielle.
And I'm loving it.
Thank you so much.
Very welcome.
All right, well, thank
Thank
you
you
for
for tuning
calling.
in.
Yeah.
No problem, baby. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Aw.
That was nice.
Thanks,
Thanks, Danielle. You're so awesome.
I thought I recognized her.
Yeah. I was like, I knew that voice.
I know that was anywhere. But yeah, actually, Danielle was at that show at Fran's also, so that was really cool. And Parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just real quick in the bridge of that song, when I say, just when I think it hurts the most, I see an unfamiliar face, and he tells me to be grateful. That was actually based on a true moment that happened while I was writing the song. So I'm like, kind of wrapped up in my own emotions, and I feel like the world is kind of falling down around me, and I get up, and I'm in the Center City, Philadelphia area, and I walk out on the street, and I run into a gentleman who seems to be without a home. And he looked at me and he said, "Hi, how are you?" And I was like, "I'm fine, how are you?" And he looks and he says, "I'm grateful." And in that moment, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, okay, I'm, going through whatever issues I'm going through, but who the heck am I to sit here and feel like, the world is coming to an end, and, this guy has no house, and he's still, finding something to be grateful about. So, it really kind of jarred me out of that position, and so I kind of put that in there as a reminder to myself that there's always, if we're here and we're breathing, there is always something to be grateful for.
Yes.
And, I don't care if you don't have a house, you don't have shoes, whatever it is, there is still something to be grateful for.
Exactly,
Yes,
yeah.
we were just talking about this today.
That is very true.
Be grateful.
And that is time of season.
Yeah.
To be grateful.
To-
Every
that
day
is
should be a
true.
grateful
Yeah.
moment. But this is the in America, this is where we want to say, like, special thanks to X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
That is
So that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's so meaningful to put that in your song too. I feel like
Yes.
it's powerful.
Only nobody knows. We want to talk about inspirations. We want to talk about this and that, but people really don't know. And sometimes we don't even realize who our true inspirations are.
Yeah.
It could be this man who did not have a home, that was living on the streets just like that. You know specifically that, but I mean, it's hard sometimes for us to remember that these little moments are inspirations. People who may be insignificant to the rest of the world.
Or that, you can be that for somebody else.
Yeah,
I don't even know if he knows, if
what
that
he
meant
did for you.
what it meant for you.
Absolutely.
So you never know what you can mean to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
What advice would you give to someone trying to? Oh, hold up, my question has to wait.
Hello, you're on the air with HeartsChat.
Hi, everybody. I just first wanted to say, I love listening to your show.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I just wanted to say, I love your voice. It's just really, really unique. And I'm the biggest fan of the voice. I'm just wondering, would you ever consider going voice one day? Because I feel like the voice is something that America needs to hear.
Well, thank you. I certainly appreciate that. I am certainly doing everything that I can do to kind of get it out there, and being here today is a part of that also. As far as kind of TV shows along those lines go, I think that they are a tremendous platform for a lot of artists. I think that it's very important that anyone who is looking to be a part of those types of shows really takes a look at the contracts that go along with them, and make sure that that is the way that you want to start your career. And I'm not necessarily sure that that is the right direction for me. But, I certainly appreciate the fact that you said that, and I really appreciate your calling in today.
You're welcome, and I just wish you luck in your journey of doing research and everything.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, well, that shows.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're not into her, the main thing that she said is she thinks the world needs to hear your voice.
Yeah.
You're on the voice.
You know what? I forgot to ask her. Can I quote you for my website? Text us or call us and let me know if I can have your permission to put that on my site. We'll put it like big letters with your name.
That would be special.
Yeah, exactly.
Or your mom will put it on it.
Yes, I won't. The royal we will put it.
Wakila, what was your question before?
My question was, do you have any advice for someone who's looking to get into the music business? What would you give to them?
Okay.
It's a very big question, but
it is. The most important thing that I can say about that is make sure you know why you want to be a part of it, and make sure that your why is for the right reasons. If you're saying, oh, well, my cousin's boy is so-and-so, so I'm pretty much set and I can get in, and trust me, I went through that phase. What your cousin's boy eats for lunch does not make you poop at the end of the day. Understand that nobody is going to work for you and push for you and advocate for you like you. If you're getting into it because you want to be rich, you want to be famous, you want to get girls, guys, whatever it may be, that's great. But all of those things are going to end up getting tested in your journey. And it really, really is a journey. No matter what level you make it to, if you involve yourself in this, I don't care if you're local, if you're regional, if you're national, you're international, there is a journey that is involved, and going through this process is not an easy one. There are many, many days where you have to take a very close look at yourself in the mirror and make sure that this is still the decision that you want to make. And even if you make it to, being the international artist and the next big thing that's in, your name is in every single living room, everything that you could possibly be tempted with or have in front of you will at some point come in front of you. Yeah. And you have to be very clear on who you are, what you want, and who you are not, and what you don't want in this journey, because everything is going to end up throwing itself at you. And if you're not clear on that initially, you're going to run into big problems. Right. The fact of the matter is, our business, my day job, is everyone else's entertainment. Yeah. So while everybody else is hanging out and they're drinking and they're chilling and they're having a good time, I'm at work.
You're working, right?
Yep. Well, that we could quote and put on something too.
Yeah.
That could be
I wish we, had more time, because I'm sure you have a lot more, advice.
Just have to come back.
Yeah. You will have to come back, because we only have 30 minutes. But it really was a pleasure talking with you.
Yes, it was.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
Thanks for coming. Have your debut.
Yes.
So everyone knows what time it is. So,
yes, it
if
is.
you are an artist and would like us to play your music, or have a product or brand that you would like us to advertise, or if you have any questions or comments, please email us at heartschatradio@gmail.com. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at HeartsChat, on Instagram at HeartsChatRadio, and our Facebook page, which is also called HeartsChat. We post a lot of motivational messages up throughout the day, so if you need a little pick-me-up or inspiration, follow our pages.
We hope you enjoyed our show today with the lovely Ja-Tun.
Yes.
We're happy you're here. We are live every Tuesday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget to tune in and check us out. Spread the word.
Yes, and you can visit her website too.
Yes.
www.ja-tun.com.
Yes.
So, and don't forget to visit my blog from ericasheart.com that asks all your relationship questions anonymously. And I guess that's it. Thanks for listening to Hearts Chat, where we speak from the heart.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye, world.
Wow.